Stress. It's a word we throw around every single day, right? But what is it really? Is it just a feeling, or is it something deeper, something that's actually rewiring our bodies and our brains? Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain. We're going to take stress from this big, mysterious force and turn it into something you can actually understand and maybe even master. Okay, let's get into it.
First things first, just take a second. Think about it for you, personally. What is it that gets your heart pounding? What gets your mind racing? What are the things, big or small, that just flip that pressure switch for you?
Yeah, I'm going to guess that if you thought of stuff like exams, project deadlines, or just, sitting in traffic, you are definitely not alone. Our modern lives are just packed to the brim with these kinds of psychological pressures, and they can feel relentless. It's just a huge part of being human today. And that brings us right to our first big idea. We're going to dig into this fundamental mismatch, this conflict between our biology and our world. See, your body is running an ancient survival program, but it's running it in a world it was never, ever designed for. So let's get a really clear definition down. Stress is not just in your head. Not at all. It's a full-body event. It's both psychological and physiological. It's a reaction to anything that knocks your body off balance. That anything is what we call the stressor. And your body's reaction? Well, that's the stress response.
Now this right here is the perfect way to understand the problem. Think about a zebra on the savannah. Its stress is super simple, right? A lion shows up, that's a real physical threat, the zebra runs for its life, and then it's over. The stress is intense, but it's short. It's acute. Our stress, totally different. We're not running from a lion, we're worried about a project deadline. It's not a physical threat, it's a psychological one. And it's not short-term, it's chronic. We worry about it for weeks. So we're turning on that exact same life-saving alarm system as the zebra, but we're doing it for threats that exist in our minds. And worse, we're leaving that alarm ringing 24/7. So what's the big deal? What actually happens when that alarm bell just never stops ringing? Okay, let's jump into our next section and see how this incredible system, this lifesaver, can actually start to make us really sick. First, let's be super clear, the stress response itself is a miracle of evolution. I mean, in the short term, it's absolutely brilliant. It floods your body with energy, gets your heart pumping like crazy to deliver all that fuel, and makes your brain laser focused. It is exactly what you need to fight off a predator or escape danger. It's a survival machine. But, and this is a huge but, this slide shows the dark side. That exact same mobilization of energy, if it goes on and on, can lead to muscle fatigue and even diabetes. That increased heart rate becomes chronic high blood pressure. Shutting down your digestion to save energy in a sprint, great. Doing it for months, you could end up with ulcers. And suppressing your immune system, well, that just leaves the door wide open for you to get sick. The very things that save your life in a 30-second emergency can completely wreck your health over a 30-year career.
Now, I know that might sound a little grim, but hang on, because this is where the story takes an absolutely fascinating turn. It turns out we are not just passive victims of our own biology. Your mind, it has a kind of control panel that can fundamentally change how your body experiences all of this.
And here they are. Decades of research have zeroed in on these 5 key factors. Now, these aren't just, feel-good ideas. These are powerful psychological tools that have been proven to buffer the negative physical damage of stress. Let's actually look at a couple of these in action.
Okay, check out this classic experiment. Scientists took one group of rats and gave them random electric shocks. Total mess, right? Their stress hormones were through the roof and they developed all sorts of ulcers. But then a second group got the exact same shocks with one tiny difference. A warning bell rang just before each one. And the results? Way less stress, way fewer ulcers. Just knowing the bad thing is coming gives the body a chance to brace itself, and maybe more importantly, relax in between. Predictability is power.
But it gets even wilder. So in another study, rats are getting shocks, but this time, one group gets a little lever they can press. And here's the kicker. The lever does absolutely nothing. It's a placebo lever. But the rats who think they're doing something about it, the ones pressing that useless lever, have a dramatically lower stress response than the rats who have no lever at all. It's not about actual control. It's the perception of control that changes everything. And this isn't just for rats. A landmark study took this idea into a nursing home. They told Group A, you're in charge. You decide your movie night, you decide when visitors come, and here's a houseplant. You are responsible for keeping it alive. Group B, on the other hand, was told, don't worry, the staff will handle all of that for you. The results were just stunning.
The high control group didn't just feel better, they physically became healthier, more active, more alert.
But here's the part that just gives me goosebumps. A year and a half later, the researchers checked back in. In the group that was given more control, more responsibility, the death rate was 50% lower. Let that sink in. 50%. That's not a small difference. That is a staggering testament to the power of our psychology. A simple sense of autonomy can literally be a matter of life and death.
So let's push this mind-body connection even further with a really cool question. We all know that rejection hurts, right? But is that just a metaphor? Or is your brain actually processing the pain of a breakup using the same circuits it would for, say, a broken leg?
Believe it or not, the answer is, yeah, pretty much. In this remarkable study, they had people take Tylenol every day, and it didn't just help with their headaches, they also reported having less hurt feelings from social rejection, and brain scans confirmed it. The painkiller was literally quieting down the activity in the brain's physical pain centers. So yeah, the link is very, very real.
So, we've seen what stress is, how it works, and how our minds can completely reshape it. Let's bring this all home and get practical. It's time to build a toolkit that you can actually start using today.
A really great, simple framework for this is the 4 A's. It gives you a clear, step-by-step way to think about any stressful situation that comes your way. It's avoid, alter, adapt, and accept.
Okay, let's put some meat on these bones. Avoid is your first line of defense. Can you just learn to say no? Can you take something off your massive to-do list? If you can't avoid it, can you alter it? This is all about communication. Speaking up, expressing your feelings, finding a compromise. If that won't work, you move to adapt. Now, this is an internal job. It's about reframing the problem. Is this traffic jam a personal insult, or is it just 10 minutes to listen to a good song? And finally, there's accept. Some things, they just can't be changed. The goal here isn't about giving up. It's about stopping the fight against reality so you can find some peace.
And of course, it's just as critical to recognize what doesn't work. All of these common habits, they might feel like they're helping in the moment, but all they really do is mask the problem. They're short-term fixes that usually make things worse in the long run. The 4 A's, that's about actually solving the problem, not just numbing the symptoms.
So there you have it. We've gone from the biology of a stressed-out zebra all the way to the psychology of a nursing home, and we've landed with a simple, practical toolkit. But you know, the real power isn't just in knowing this stuff. It's in using it. So as you think about your own life, your own stressors, which one of these tools are you going to pick up and use first?